All right, y'all. Welcome back. We have some breaking news. Joel Wyatt, the four-star in-state athlete that can play anything on the field that Tennessee really needs to land, he was set to announce July the 6th. I think leading up to that day coming up on Sunday, Tennessee was in a great spot to land him, but he's pushed things back. So this leads me to think, okay, again, without having all the inside working knowledge of this whole situation, leads me to think that Tennessee might not be in the best spot at this time. Now, I will point out that the insiders have said for weeks now that Joel Wyatt could actually push his day back. So if they're not blindsided, then the staff isn't blindsided by it. So, maybe this is kind of what they expected to happen. But at the same time, what we know is that he wants to play wide receiver or safety. That's two spots that is 6'4", 6'5", about 200 pounds. I think that he could play at a pretty high level his first year on campus. Tennessee is asking him to play at Leo, which it would probably take him at least one full year before he could gain the weight and be strong enough to actually come off of the edge in the SEC. If Vanderbilt's offering him the opportunity to play offense and defense, okay, at the two spots that he wants to play at the most, it makes me feel like maybe that's the program to beat at this point. But why weren't they always the program to beat? One of the other things that he talked about was he wants to get paid right. He wants his NIL package and his revenue sharing package. He wants that stuff to be with market value for, what he thinks his market value is. So maybe Vandy wasn't going to pay him as much as Tennessee. You would think maybe it's flipped with that situation. Or maybe he just looked at, maybe he stepped back and looked at the whole thing and said, man, Vandy's going to pay me all this money. Yes, it's not going to be a very talented team. We're probably going to suck, but I can do what I want to do. And then, I'm going to be able to get paid what I want to get paid. So maybe I should just try to go there. That's a possibility too. Now it's also, shoot, it's a possibility that maybe some other team has stepped into this mix, right? Like maybe somebody else has come out and told Joel Wyatt that, look, we're going to let you play offense and defense too, wide receiver and safety or linebacker, which I think might be his overall best spot because, yeah, shoot, he's 6'4", 6'5", at 200 pounds right now. But by the time the season starts in 2026, he could be up at about 230, maybe 235, a little bit easier than getting up to 245, and he could carry that very well. But I'm just saying, something is going on. Something has changed somewhere because he's pushed his day back. It could also be, a positive thing for Tennessee. Maybe he was going to pick Vanderbilt or somebody else. But now he's looking at Tennessee and saying, you know what? I really feel like y'all are doing what I want, and that might be the place that I want to go play ball at, but let me take a little bit more time to figure that out. I could see that happening too. But either way, I had to bring this to y'all, and I would love to hear y'all's thoughts on it. Do you think this is positive or negative for Tennessee that Joel Wyatt is pushing his day back? And also, understand that he would have been like the third four-star that Tennessee would have added this week, at least the way that I saw things. Because coming up on Tuesday, TJ White and also Darian Albert, I think that they'll be choosing Tennessee. Those are two four-star guys as well. So that really could have bumped us up even more if Joel Wyatt was the, cap on everything, at the end of the week. And then also we have on the 4th coming up, Rivers. He's going to be probably choosing Tennessee. I think he's a 3-star with On3 and with 24/7 Sports, but really, really good players. So I'm just curious, what are y'all's thoughts on it? Let me also share this with y'all very, very briefly, just because we have to watch out for this, man. Alabama, okay? Alabama right here. You can see they've moved up to number 7. They have 3 5-stars. So now they have the most 5-stars out of any other program in the country. Now, why are we talking about Alabama? Because we know that NIL is a huge thing for all these players. And actually shouts out to Joel Wyatt for actually voicing that, saying, yeah, I want to go to a place that the NIL money is going to look right. I think he's the first player that I've seen actually say that, but it's true for all these guys. That's a big part of it. But we know that since NIL started that Alabama has taken several steps back with adding a bunch of high caliber players. Why? Because they thrive off of a system that makes everyone else, kind of like capped with the money that they can spend so that Alabama can find the loopholes and cheat. So NIL Go, we kind of felt like, well, that's going to clear things up where it's a little bit more of like this even playing field. But I listened to a lawyer speak, he's a lawyer/agent not too long ago, and he said, man, there's so many loopholes with this NIL Go that it's probably not going to make too much of a difference, but there still will be some of these by the book folks that are, really going to follow these rules to a T, even though they're stupid rules. And, they're going to say, hey, every single one of our players, their NIL contracts is going to have to get cleared through NIL Go and not try to utilize those loopholes and things like that. Well, the more programs that we have doing that, then the more players Alabama is going to get because they thrive off of cheating. So I just had to point that out and just let y'all know that they're back to their old tricks. This class has a really good opportunity to probably finish, I would say in the top 3 because there's only 14 players in this class currently, and they already have 3 5-stars. There's a couple more that they're in a good spot for. It's 2 guys on defense right here, and then this running back. But I'm gonna tell you, these 2 guys, they're really, really good, especially this cornerback. Alabama's got a lot of guys like this that are like 6'3" and they can freaking play. So they're gonna be good moving forward. But listen, quiet as this is kept, Tennessee's going to have to get on page with this. We got to get on the same page. We're going to have to get on board with finding these loopholes because we cannot get left behind again with Alabama finding ways to cheat. Nick Saban did it for such a long time. Players, pushing, chargers and challengers and everything else, and just having all this extra money and, having all these houses, just everything that they had going on. Somehow Alabama never gets caught or even mentioned as a cheating program by the powers that be. Now, everyone, all of us fans and everybody else, we all knew that Alabama was cheating. But see, this is how they thrive. So this is why I always say having Nick Saban being in charge of anything with college football, because this whole NIL GO thing, everything that's going on, that's from Nick Saban's doing. He's going to help out Alabama. He's going to help out UGA because UGA just wants to copy everything that Alabama does. So anything that Bama's doing, Georgia's doing the exact same thing. So we should never want Nick Saban or anybody that's part of Alabama to be in charge of anything with college sports because it's only going to help them out. But like I said, man, Tennessee needs to find a way to out-cheat Alabama. We can't let them, be the only program, them and Georgia be the only programs that are, finding ways to circumvent all these rules and go through all these loopholes and just have monstrous classes moving forward. But those are my thoughts. Please share yours with me down in the comment section. And as always, please do make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. We'll see y'all on the next one. Thanks. Peace. Thanks for watching. And please make sure to like and subscribe to the channel because that keeps us growing inside of the YouTube algorithm. And if you did like this video, here's another one that you might also enjoy. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.